Welcome back, Officers Republic. Your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief APGAINS. You read the thumbnail. I'm not going to waste your time. My favorite Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes YouTuber has decided to quit, decided to retire, and this actually came a couple days ago, and I've been meaning to make a video on it. And then today, one of my favorite podcasts is ceasing to exist for the exact same reasons. So for those of you guys who don't know, way back when I decided to become a YouTuber, my inspiration was Fort Mort. He had about 100 subscribers at the time. He was getting, maybe 20 or something views on live streams, and I was hanging out, and I was like, you know what, this seems super fun. I enjoyed his company. He was a lot like me in the old days. We were very much, get those 100+ GAC win streaks and basically just make sure you never, ever, ever lose in GAC, and that's kind of why my identity has become, everything that you can possibly do to win as many GACs as possible, because these 100+ win streaks that we would go on were fun. So he was my inspiration to start YouTube. The reason the APGAINS YouTube channel is here is because of him. And, I can't play this video because it has copyrighted music in it. Maybe I can just like play it off in the background with no audio, just so there's something for you to look at. But pretty much what he said is life's getting in the way. The game a lot of times has become a little too monotonous. And this goes for one of my favorite podcasts as well. They basically said the game has become too complicated. It's not specifically that, datacrons are bad, but like the game has just been too repetitive. There's nothing much really to do, except for do the exact same thing over and over again. I mean, like it's been like, 2.5, maybe 3 years almost. I think we're approaching 3 years of light side TB without any new PvE content or anything like that. Now, GCs and Conquest, I don't count because those are very boring and very repetitive, and there's no imagination put into them. They're kind of just like, additions to the daily challenges, basically. That's what I think we all consider Galactic Challenges and Conquest to basically be extensions of the daily stuff that you have to do every single day. Very repetitive. And I think just the increase of just stuff that you have to not only know but do every single day is just skyrocketed in the last year. Now, I know there's not a lot of people quitting the game right now. Like if you look at the numbers, it's basically exact same. But where I think the game is not losing quantity, I think the game is 100% losing quality. I think, and let me know if this has applied to you, your guild, or anyone you know in the comment section. The people who are leaving are the people who are the most invested. They're the best people. They're the smartest people. They're the people who care the most. Those are the people that are quitting the game. It's not the casual player who plays, once a month or once a week, or just plays on the toilet, for 30 minutes a day. It's the guild and territory war officers who no longer can really deal with territory wars because of datacrons, haven't really been enjoying light side TB because we still don't even have enough GP to even finish light side TB, which after 3 years is utterly unacceptable. It's the quality of people it's leaving. It's the content creators. Back when Cubs fan Hans said he was going to take a step away, now with Fort Mort, almost happened to me multiple times just because the game is, oftentimes not really worth it from a content creation standpoint. I think the changes are driving away a quality of player as opposed to a quantity, because there's a lot of players who just don't interact with a lot of the game, right? They don't interact with datacrons. They don't really interact with Conquest, or they don't really try that hard in GAC. The people who you're matching up against who are millions of more GP, for me, it's the 3 million more, it's the 8 millions versus 5. For yous, it could be the 1 million and you're facing a 5 million. It's not those players that are stepping away from the game. And I know that, a lot of times when we talk about what can capital games do, we always mention, and this is something I think is funny, and I was thinking about this on the car ride home while I was listening to a podcast about the game where they're saying, I'm stepping away. Basically what I was thinking to myself in the car was, all we ever talk about is stuff that they can do to improve the game. And if they don't actively try to improve the game, right? That's not their job to improve the quality of the game. It's to improve the profitability of the game, right? So we spend all our time getting our hopes up about things that they could do to fix the game or to make it better or to improve the quality. And then when they inevitably go the opposite direction, we just get extra sad because we, fall under the assumption that they are actively trying to make the game better. And I think it's just about time. I mean, I'm callous enough to have basically zero expectations for the game. I think when you have zero expectations and you try to speculate as little as possible, you're let down as little as possible. And I think that kind of saves the game for a lot of people. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I always say, this game is book club. We don't actually like the book. We don't actually really like the game. I don't think there's anyone who really likes the game. It's the community, right? It's book club. We meet up with the other wives. We drink wine, talk shit about our husbands. That's the reason the game is still here. It's the community aspect of the game. It's, me interacting with you guys in the live streams that keeps me here. You guys on Discord, in the chat or in the comment section. You guys have your guild mates or the guys you watch or the guys you stream with or whatever it is that keeps you here in the game, that community aspect. That's the only reason the game still exists. It's not because it's a good game. This is it's objectively not one of the better Star Wars games that's existed. I think the only thing that the game has really going for it is GAC was just a fantastic idea that they happened to create. And the community is just so unbelievably strong because it's a Star Wars game. And I don't think that doesn't mean the game can't get better. I don't think that, with Capital Games adding new PvE content early to mid-September or adding cool characters or just kind of revitalizing the quality of life stuff in the game, I don't think the game can't get better. I'm just tired of people expecting the world and then obviously Capital Games under-delivering and then quitting because our expectations have got too high. I'm also tired of just how unbelievably time-consuming this game can be. I think, they talked a lot about when they first updated Conquest about, we heard your feedback and we blah, 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 blah. And then they made the Conquest 4 times longer, which made the Conquest not even 4 times worse, infinitely worse. I don't even think we have a number for how much worse Conquest is after the grindy feats have just been grindier and grindier. Like, there's no imagination whatsoever in do 40 battles with one team or win 40 battles with one team. There's no creativity. There's no imagination. There's no integrity from a game developer to do something like that. All it does is basically what the game has always done, which is frustrate you enough to the point where you spend money. And as a business decision, fantastic fucking idea. It's a Star Wars game. People aren't going to quit that much because they love Star Wars. There's no other option. If you frustrate them to get them to spend money, that's fine. All I'm asking is if you're going to frustrate us to the point where we have to spend money into the tunes of over $1 billion, we probably made $1.5 billion at this point. Give us some quality of life, give us a territory battle. Like, you just give us a little bit of, just give us the breadcrumbs. Like, we'll beg at the street and grovel at your feet, give you a reach around by a 7-Eleven. Just please, just a little bit of content, just a little bit of something to do, and then make it not take so goddamn long. Like, I don't want to have to do Conquest for 4 hours a day, right? That's obviously an exaggeration. It's probably about an hour and a half a day of just Conquest. GAC is 1 to 2 hours. If people actually do it, right? Because matchmaking is so atrocious that people a lot of times don't really do their Conquests, or not their Conquests, they don't really do their GACs. So, I don't know. Like, when they let you sim the assault battles, that was awesome. Let's get more stuff like that. Let's get more stuff that's making the game, like the stuff that's already in the game that's a grind. Help us ease the time burden. And then, I would be much happier spending lots of time tackling something new. Right? Datacrons are not ever going to be new. I get that they exist to kind of repeat themselves. Same thing with Conquest, same thing with Galactic Challenges. They exist to be infinitely repeatable without any effort, which for a company that strives to have as little overhead as possible, which is, a great business decision. I applaud them for that. They've actually done a tremendous job at that. I'm okay with, but just minimize the time that we have to do monotonous things. And then if you want to frustrate us on something a little bit more fun, and get us to spend money that way. I don't know if that's even possible. I'm not an executive. I had a couple of, interactions with CG at some point where they're basically just we got to do our jobs, right? And I understand that, but I don't know. It's been 3 years since we had a TB. Give us Endor, give us Mandalore, give us something, give us Scarif, for God's sakes. Just something to break up the monotony of just doing the same thing over and over and over again. All right, as always, I love you, and I'll see you later.